Hi everyone, welcome to Data Precision with Shino, and I'll be taking you through a develop a tech lab for Tableau, where we were given as part of our Coursera advanced data visualization with Tableau labs. So there's a project scenario where you have been employed as a BI data analyst to a healthcare consulting firm that analyzes the state of global happiness annually. And the World Happiness Report, which is produced by the World Bank and the UN, it offers valuable insights into influencing happiness across countries. Now, your firm wants you to produce a report to determine whether demographic, regional, and economic characteristics lead to a better life. So you search for a data set that can analyze the happiness index globally. You found the World Happiness Report. So here is the World Happiness Report is an annual report, and for the last release in March 2026, today is April 3rd, 4th, April 2nd, 2026. But this was last in, so there's a recent report. We're using one from previous years. So the report highlights a growing happiness gap for this year for young people in North America and Western Europe, with Finland remaining the world's happiest country for the ninth consecutive year. The report focuses on negative impact of social media on adolescents' well-being, while Nordic nations dominate the top rankings. So the Nordic nations include Denmark, Finland, Iceland, Norway, Sweden, along with the autonomous regions of Greenland and the Faroe Islands and Åland. Look, and they're all located in Northern Europe. They are linked by shared history, strong economic ties, high living standards, and a focus on social equality and sustainability. Now they have major cities, and major cities are characterized by vibrant capital cities. So you can see why they are happy. Stockholm in Sweden, Oslo in Norway, Copenhagen in Denmark, Helsinki in Finland, and Reykjavik in Iceland. So going back to our lab, our report includes data sets consisting of key metrics related to global happiness and well-being, such as country names, regions, happiness scores, GDP per capita, social support, health life expectancy, freedom to make life choices, generosity, perceptions of corruption. So we can see them here, and they're also coming as fields for us. So we have 9 fields, and these metrics offer insight into happiness and socioeconomic conditions of various countries and regions. Now, the World Happiness Report contains survey data. So we're working with data from 2015 to 2023, which has been slightly modified for this project. So the modified version here now, which hasn't downloading hasn't downloaded, has country, region, happiness score, GTV per capita, social support, health life expectancy, freedom to make life choices, generosity, and the year. And as I said earlier, the year is 2015 to 2023. So these are the following tasks that were completed in this project. The first task is based on happiness status overview. We have 4 subtasks on it. The first one says find the average happiness score for each region. So these are our tables. So the first task is the average happiness score per region. So we can see the regions here. So if we change this to change it to fit, right? And, I think um, what we've done here is to bring in regions on the rows and average happiness on color marks and average happiness on labels. So I think I would like to just increase the font size of this. So maths, so let's just reduce. So I think this works fine. So we can have a look at all the text. So we've done the average happiness score. So the next task was to identify the 10 most happy countries over the years. So we created the parameters for top 10 countries. So we have the 10 most happy countries over the years. So we can see Canada, Australia, Iceland, Norway, Sweden, Finland, just like we talk about the Nordic countries, Netherlands, and Switzerland. So the next, so this marks allowed us to have the colors, allowed us to have countries and regions, and we have the longitude and latitude on our row and columns. So the next is the 10 list happy countries over the years. So we have Botswana, Tanzania, Rwanda, Central African Republic, Sudan, South Sudan, Syria, Afghanistan in Southeast Asia. So the next was a create a dashboard titled Happiness Status Overview 2015 to 2023. So here is our dashboard for Happiness Status Overview 2023. Most happy countries, least happy countries, and we have our table here for the average happiness score per region. Next, we have the effect of GDP per capita on happiness score. We identify the average happiness score for the 10 most happy countries. So here we have the average happiness score for the 10 most happy countries. We have country on rows and average happiness per country on color. We drag dimension to color and we drag the same to label. So let's format this a bit. So have a little bit larger. We'll come to our font. I'll pick our font size. So this font size works for us. Next, we have to find the average GDP per capita trend for the 10 most happy countries. So this is average GDP per capita for the 10 most happy countries. We have the year, and on the rows we have the average GDP per capita. We have the top end filter and countries on color marks. Next, we identify the GDP per capita on the happiness score for each year. You can see for each year for the 10 most happy countries. So here it is for each year of the 10 most happy countries: Australia, Canada, Denmark, Finland, the Netherlands, New Zealand, Norway, Sweden, and Switzerland. So we have the year and the country. The next, we have to create a dashboard titled the effect of GDP per capita on happiness score, top 10 most happy countries. So here's the dashboard, and we're required to pick one of the elements as the filter. So we pick this as filter. So we click on Canada. You can see Canada down here. Finland, same. You can see the Sweden. Let's see, Switzerland. You can see the countries being filtered out. So next, but to affect other factors on happiness score for the 10 happiest countries. So we identify the happiness score for the 10 most happy countries for all the years. So here it is on a table. We have it on a highlights table. So the density of the colors tells us which are much higher with the average happiness score. Then next we'll find the freedom and social support figures from the 10 least happy countries. So this freedom and social support for 10 most happy, generosity and health for most happy, and then we create a dashboard titled the effect of freedom, social support, generating and healthy life expectancy. So here's our dashboard. We have our legend to the side. So next we're requested to identify the happiness score for the 10 least happy countries for all years. So this is happiness score for 10 least happy countries over the years. And we should find the freedom and social support figures for the 10 least happy countries over the years too. So this is it here. We are to create a dashboard titled Effect of Freedom, Social Support, Generosity, and Healthy Life Expectancy. So here's the dashboard. Next, we are to create a story and share of final project. So this was shared on Tableau Public as a publication. So and we included all the 4 dashboards as story points. So we have the story here. You can see the overview. We have GDP per capita. We have most happy. We have least happy. And finally, we're asked to create a story point to include the 3 inferences. So here we have 3 inferences. Inference 1, the happiest countries most fall under the category of first world and developed countries. For the least happy countries, most fall under the category of third world and developing countries. I think this is developed countries. So the first was happiest, least happiest, third world and developing, and then in third inferences, the most happy countries have high GDP per capita in the recent years post 2020. So we could see that from what we looked at earlier. So I'll drop it into this on Tableau Public so you can have a closer look at it. Thank you very much and see you in the next video.